Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. We are here. It's also been a while. I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks. To be fair, I'm better than last time because the time difference between my last two videos were way longer. So I'm better now. I have been very busy recently, so it has been hard for me to get this out and have the time to get it out, but we're here. This is the second part of my drawing a whole bunch of heads challenge. Some people call it the 100 head challenge. I'm not drawing 100 heads. I did like 24. But I wanted to draw all my favorite characters, and I tend to do this too because it's a cool way to see how I've improved over the years. And I really do think I actually improved a lot, which I am very happy about, because I remember when I was looking through my 2024 ones that I did, I really actually still like how a lot of them looked, and I was like afraid. I was like, oh my gosh, am I even gonna improve like what I did before? Because like I remember looking at them and being pretty proud of them still, but now when I look through all my new ones I did recently, I'm actually so like, I feel so happy that I like really feel like I have improved a lot. I think one of the biggest things I noticed was just my I don't know, I think I like really improved with, I think proportion I definitely improved with more. Also just like detail, I think details I really noticed were also popping more, and especially I think the thing I like improved the most on was just the way I was like shading a lot of these, and I really like was really pushing down on the paper, which is not the right way to shade things, but that's what I did because I didn't want to sit here and spend 10 hours on every single one of these. So I was really pressing down, which is not great for your hand. But I really wanted to like really enunciate like the lights and the darks and get a good contrast, which I feel like I really got with a lot of these. This first one I'm drawing, by the way, is Eugene Rowe from Fanart Brothers. I really love that episode that he features in that show. He's like my favorite. I guess I wasn't gonna say character, but he was based off of a real person, so I feel like it's wrong to say character. So yeah, and then obviously these next couple ones I did are all from Interview with Vampire because it's my special interest and it's all I think about, and I'm feeling so normal about the Vampire Lestat. I'm feeling so normal about that's gonna be coming out in like a month, and I'm just warning that like I probably won't be posting much because I'm not gonna be able to think with my brain. So yeah, I might. Yeah, I have some plans for some future videos that I want to do still. So that should be coming. I'm gonna really try to post at least 2 times this next month, at least. That's not a lot, but to me, I guess it is, because my procrastination. I remember I made that New Year video, and I said procrastination, and is it getting better? No. So I really need to figure out how to schedule myself better. That's what I really need to learn to do. But you know what? We're here and we're trying, and I completed this, so I think that's something. I really do feel like if you really just at least try to finish one thing at a time, which that's how I am too. I know some people like start things and then they'll like work on other things. I'm the type of person that if I start like a drawing or a sketch, I have to like work on one thing at a time. Like if I'm gonna do something digital and I want it to be a full colored piece and everything, I literally have to like finish that by itself. I can't like, I don't know, it's like the way my brain is. I like working on one thing at a time, because if I work on a whole bunch of different things, my brain is gonna be all over the place. I also have to like schedule my stuff, because I literally like I have to schedule everything I do, because I'm literally so, and also if I get like ideas, I literally have to write them down or I will literally forget them. And yeah. I'm just rambling a lot right now already. I actually drew both Louis and the Stat last time also when I did this challenge, which I might do a sketchbook tour of all those different I didn't do 100 heads, but all the other ones I did before, because I did one I believe in 2022, and then I did another one in 2024, and now I'm doing one in 2026, and I think that I'm gonna do another one in 2028, so that it's every other year. God, 2028 is like scary to think about. Am I even gonna be alive by then? I don't even know. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that Louis one turned out though. Same with this little Stat one. I really am obsessed with this reference I was using. It's from the trial episode, and just the lighting. I've always really loved the lighting, the way it like hits all their faces in the shadows, and I really wanted to push it in this drawing. You can see me like really just again really cramming that pencil into the paper, which again, you really should not do. I'm really saying, because it's really not good for your wrist. Yeah, I really wouldn't recommend. Also, it's not like the right way technically to shade things with like colored pencil, because you're supposed to like build slowly over time. And that's how you can also get a smoother look, I've learned. But you know, it's hard to do that whenever you don't have all the time in the world. You know, I didn't want this project to take me like 10 years. I wanted it to be a quicker, which I actually, though, I'm also proud of myself, because I do think I actually got faster as I was going on with these. I will say something that really annoys me whenever I'm editing these videos. I'm actually trying to do a different thing on this one, where I didn't want to speed it up as fast as I have before. It's still kind of sped up, because I don't want these videos. A lot of my videos recently, I feel like have been way too long. Like, I'm trying to keep them 20 and under. I'm really trying to keep them shorter than they've been. Because I don't want to listen to myself talk for 30 minutes. Like, no one wants to listen to that. I get tired of listening to myself. And so I'm trying to like cut them down. But I notice whenever I'm drawing that, like, I literally will pause every 2 seconds and like readjust the pencil in my hand, and it's so frustrating to watch. And so I was like really, really trying to cut this down so that there wasn't a whole bunch of that. And then also I was like nervous to like shade these, because I really wanted them to turn out good. So like I would like hesitantly like just shakily go over the same spot like multiple times, and it was like agonizing to watch. So I really tried to cut this down so that it wasn't like annoying to watch this video. So I really hope also that is shown in this version. I did get the video cut down to like 19 minutes, so better than 30, you know. And again, as I was saying before too, though, like I feel like I think because I did 12 each time, and this one I like really was able to like. I was also just really happy with how they were turning out, though, too. So I think it was giving me a lot of confidence, and like I was feeling really happy with my art. So I was like, it really inspired me to keep going, which is always nice. Whenever you're really happy with something that you make, it really does, like, it really inspires you a lot. I also think, though, there is like an element of like, I don't know, like if you like make something that like you're really, really proud of, sometimes it can also be kind of intimidating to like try to do it again, because like, and like I found myself sometimes, if I make a piece of art that like I'm really happy with, sometimes I'll like be sad because like I'll draw other things and then they don't turn out looking the same way, and then I'll start feeling really bad about myself because I'm like, oh great, I'm like not improving. And so like, I don't know, I'm just so hard. I think a lot of artists are, though, really hard on ourselves when it comes to art. And I'm really trying to like get better at not being so hard. Like recently I've like been doing more digital stuff, and I've been like really struggling. Like I find digital, I think I was explaining this last time, but digital art for me is just like, I find it so much more difficult than traditional. Like the sketching part specifically, I struggle with so bad. And like, I don't know, I think it's just because of like, you know, you're drawing on such a smooth screen and there's no texture, and it just, I struggle. And like a lot of my sketches digitally recently I've been so frustrated with. And I just, yeah, sometimes I just have to remind myself that like, you know, sometimes also it's like important to take breaks too if you're frustrated, which I never want to do because I always want to like work on it. And yeah, it's a whole thing. Also, these are both of the Claudia's too. I want to draw both of them because I feel like a lot of the time in the fandom, I feel like people usually only ever draw Bailey Bass's Claudia, and I really want to draw both of them because I genuinely love them both so much, and I think they're like, I honestly don't even have a favorite. I think they equally, like, they were like perfect for the time that they went into each of their parts, and I love them both, so I really wanted to draw them both. And it made me realize too that I do not draw Claudia nearly enough, and I need to draw her more. I want to draw more like Unholy Family fan art too. I apologize if you don't know what Interview with Vampire is. This, what I'm saying, is probably so confusing. Go watch it. It's fantastic. But I was really starting to like, as I was going, get more comfortable with these. And again, like I really could feel too that I was improving because I was finishing these a lot faster each time. I will say the one thing that like, I think I might have said this too last week, I don't remember, is the one thing I was really struggling with though in like all of these is I kept on like not formatting these the right way. Like the way I was formatting them was bad. Like a lot of these are not in the middle of the page, and some of them are definitely bigger than others. I do think these ones I definitely did a better job at making them at least a similar size, but they are kind of all over the place. So that was definitely something that I never really got better with. I'm really bad at formatting my art. Like, I don't know. Whenever I start a sketch, it never ends up where it's supposed to be on the page, and it always ends up like all over the place. But yeah, I really like too how I realized too with a lot of these, I think again I said this last time too, but like this time I wasn't really prioritizing like facial expressions as much. And so on this one, I really like this photo of her where she was smiling, so I tried to incorporate it, and I really like it. Also, I gave them both like vampire teeth, even though in the reference I was originally using, I don't think they had their vampire teeth out. But every time I draw them, I always want to include their little teeth because they're so cute. And I love, yeah, sometimes I'm kind of sad that they don't always have like at least a little bit of like a sharp tooth out, because they like retract, but I think it's so cute. This next one I'm doing is Armand, which I'm also really happy with how this one turned out. I also went kind of crazy with the shading on this one. Some more than others. I feel like I kind of went crazier on the shading and stuff. But yeah, another big thing that I was really trying to focus on with all these, which I was doing last time too, was again just trying to really get the likeness of all these characters and people, I guess they're all people too. I really wanted them all to, again, I really wanted to try to make them look like them, like get their likeness right. And I know I was discussing last time about trying to, if you can at least try to get like, if you look at each of the individual features as like specific parts instead of like a whole, I feel like that's how you can really get likeness better. Like if you really focus on different things, like really focusing on the way the shape of the noses or the shape of the eyes or the shape of the mouth. I feel like whenever you look at people, sometimes you can just think that like, all these things are very similar, but there's so many little very distinct things that people have that make them look different that really can like help you differentiate different characters from each other and different people from each other, that I think really helps with likeness, especially if a person has like a specific feature that is very unique to them. If you can at least get that one feature right, it can like completely change the way that a drawing looks, and it makes you really like look at it, and it will make them look more like who you're basing it off of, which I find is really, really helps me whenever I'm doing things like this. I feel like, I don't know if I really hope that what I'm saying makes sense. I feel like I get so in my head whenever I try to explain these things, and I'm not great at explaining things, and so I really apologize for that. But yeah, these other two that I decided to do were from Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola movie with Gary Oldman and Winona Ryder. I love that movie so much. I used a lot of vampires at this time, I realized, but I've always loved the way that movie looks. It's a gorgeous movie. Oh my gosh, if you haven't seen it, like, it's gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. And I'm obsessed with like the outfits and the like, just the set design, everything about it. It's really a work of art. It's like, oh my gosh, the editing in that movie is insane. But I've always wanted to draw the two of them actually too, so this was also an excuse for me to get to draw them as well. I really like these designs. I was kind of struggling with Dracula himself because he was wearing a hat in the reference I was looking at, and that was kind of hard because I didn't know how much I should like shade it or if I wanted to include the whole thing, so I kind of had it like fade as it goes up on both of these. And so yeah, this was really fun to shade too. Another thing too that really helps with likeness is if a character has like facial hair. I feel like that also helps because you could be drawing a character and it doesn't really look like them, but as soon as you include the facial hair, and if you get the shape of it right, because facial hair is also a thing that is different from person to person, like it shapes differently on people's faces. And I remember like this one, for example, like he has like a goatee, and I remember whenever I was drawing him at first, it wasn't really looking like him, and then as soon as I included the goatee on his face, it like made him fully, like it really did like bring it all together. And I was like, oh wow, there we go. So yeah, things like that too. Sometimes it can just take a while. Another thing I want to say too is I for a while was like really struggling with drawing like the ends of hair. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the way that like hair lays, I was like really struggling because I would end up just drawing it like one big clump, and so it didn't look as like, it didn't flow as naturally. but I actually learned, I've realized, like, it actually really helped me. I learned by drawing. I did a whole bunch of studies of Alucard from Castlevania, the animated show. I drew up a whole bunch of stills because he has like this gorgeous long hair, and I was like drawing a whole. I like drew a whole bunch of references from a while ago, and that like fully helped me learn how to draw hair. Like just doing those reference photos, like learning how it falls and stuff. That like I like just realized that recently. I was like, yeah, wow, that really helps me because like now every time I draw it, like I just follow what I learned from that, and it like has stuck with me since. So that's like something that's another thing that's like really helped me, which I thought was funny. When I was drawing this picture of Mina, it made me realize that I've never drawn Winona Ryder before, and I was also like kind of struggling with drawing her. I don't know why. I feel like she doesn't have like, I don't know. I was like struggling. I think this one is a little bit off too. I feel like her eyes I messed up a little bit. I do really like how the shading turned out on this page also. Like again, I really like how her eyes turned out. I really like how her eyeliner turned out in this one too. Also all these like heads I drew this time around too were a lot easier because a lot of them also had darker hair, which I kind of preferred doing because it's easier to get contrast. I think the only character that didn't was Lestat. But I even on his hair I added a lot more shading to it, so it also was easier to draw his hair because there was like a light shining down on it, so like the darks were a lot more noticeable to draw, so it was easier for me. But yeah, whenever all these characters have darker hair, it makes it a lot easier to get the contrast and like really push the darks the way I want to. And yeah, this one, yeah, again, I think this one is a little bit off. Also, I noticed with this one, I messed up too because, well, I didn't really mess up, but the paper on this sketch pad that I was using, sketchpad, I've never used that word, sketchbook, I don't know. The paper I was using was kind of thin, and so whenever I did the drawing on the back of this one, it did kind of like, you can kind of see through it. So this one kind of, unfortunately, is a little bit harder to see now because you can see the marks from the other side. So that's kind of unfortunate, but you know, at least it wasn't like marker, like it didn't bleed through terribly or anything, so that's fine. I really do like how her oh my gosh, I can't talk. I like how her hair turned out on this one, because it was like in an updo, and I really like how like the way that the flow of the hair turned out, and like I really just kind of followed like broad shapes to follow the strokes of the hair, and that was really fun too. I feel like I learned a lot about shading here actually when I was working on this project too, so yeah, I'm happy about that also. And this final one that I did was of Eric Draven from The Crow, which is another movie that I adore. I love that movie. Go watch The Crow. It's so freaking good. The original one. Sorry, I don't like the new one at all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a hater. But yeah, this one I was really excited to do because again, I love The Crow and I love drawing like makeup on faces. And this one was really fun too because the lighting in this picture that I was using as reference, you really cannot see his eyes because you know he has very dark black makeup around his eyes, and his eyes were like you can barely see the whites of his eyes, so I really wanted to like try to shade and incorporate that, and I think it actually turned out pretty good on this one. And so I'm really happy about that too. This one too, I didn't do like a whole I obviously still did some shading on his face because the lighting was very harsh on his face, but he's wearing white face paint, so the lighting isn't gonna be as there's not going to be as much shading on his face because a lot of it was just plain white. And so I'm really happy I used this reference too because it really pushed me. And it was also just a really good exercise on how to shade too, which is again another thing that I really learned when I was working on all these. But yeah, I'm really happy with how they all turned out. And yeah, if you're still here, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you guys again. Bye.